So we've already reviewed Cruis'n USA, a frankly terrible port of an already poor arcade game. Despite the fact it was panned by the critics, it actually went on to be somewhat of a hit. Gamers seemed to enjoy the pure arcade action of it, and the price was also dropped, making it one of the cheaper early N64 titles to own. With any hit game, the first thing publishers and developers want is a follow-up. Like its predecessor, Cruis'n World is a port of an arcade game. This time the port had been handled by Eurocom, who you may remember did a fantastic job of porting Mortal Kombat 4 from the arcade to the N64. Not only this, but there are a few new features being added, such as more vehicles and never before seen tracks. With all that knowledge, let's head into the review and see just how this game actually is. So that brings us to Cruis'n World. As the name suggests, instead of races taking place across the USA, they now take place at varied locations across the globe, including locations such as China, Italy, Africa, Australia, and even the Moon. There are 14 new tracks and 12 vehicles to choose from after unlocking them. Cars can now be boosted and slightly customised, which is a nice touch and adds a little more depth compared to Cruis'n USA. In terms of the core gameplay, very little has changed compared to Cruis'n USA. The races are fast and furious and can be considered one of the purest arcade racing games on the system. Everything from the physics to the scenery to the stunts is far away from being a simulation as possible. If you earn enough points doing stunts, you'll unlock secrets, so there is a reason to replay the game. Also, like Cruis'n USA on the N64, Nintendo have censored killing roadkill, although this doesn't change the gameplay at all that much. Graphically, the game looks a lot better than Cruis'n USA. There is still a horrific amount of pop-up, but the frame rate is very sharp on this game, so if you prefer speed over visuals, then this will definitely suit you. The tracks are also very interesting due to the fun scenery and wildlife littering the courses. Each and every track looks totally different, and so compared to other racing titles, the mix of courses is fantastic. On the downside though, the tracks don't have many alternative routes and you can't go off-road to explore. There are some great examples of arcade races which have multiple routes, such as Beetle Adventure Racing, but that had far fewer tracks, so it's a compromise I was happy to accept. This time around you can play with up to 4 players instead of 2 from Cruis'n USA. The frame rate is not even an issue with 4 players like you find in other races. The graphics don't seem to take much of a hit either, so kudos to Eurocom for that. The sound also deserves a mention. The music in the game is also much better than in Cruis'n USA. Although it's ripped from the mono soundtrack of the arcade, the quality isn't all that bad. There is a nice mix, however it does sound very 80s inspired, but if you're like me, you're a kid of the 80s, then you'll love it. They also again included the option to quickly change the music during the races with the press of the C buttons. They also beefed up the engine noises in this game, so it now really does sound like you're driving a powerful car. How you control the game is pretty much exactly the same as it was in Cruis'n USA. The analog stick is a little sensitive this time around, however your vehicle will still fly across the track even with the slightest touch. This can still cause problems when you first play, but you soon get used to it, and if you've played games like Outrun, you'll know what to expect. Also, pulling off stunts is a breeze, although it would have been nice to have had more times to race when you could use stunts. Cruis'n World suffered from the same problem Cruis'n USA did. It was panned yet again by critics, but for the same reasons I love Cruis'n USA are the reasons why I love this game too. It's simple, quick arcade racing which anyone can pick up and play. The courses are interesting and the gameplay is what you'd expect from an arcade racer. Like Cruis'n USA, this game has quite a following. It's nice to know that back then gamers weren't as obsessed with reviews from journalists as they are now. When this game came out, it wasn't about how many polygons or online connectivity a game had, it was about seeing a game in pictures and thinking, that looks like a damn fun racing game. So how do you remember Cruis'n World? Were you looking forward to more arcade action after having loved Cruis'n USA, or were you disappointed they didn't change more in the game considering how popular Cruis'n USA was? Let me know your comments in the comments field below, and until next time, thanks for watching.